Right now at noon, the standoff ends with the Missouri man suspected of shooting 2 police officers now behind bars.
We've managed to see a little bit of a slight warm up thanks to all of this sunshine out there. It's going to warm up just a little bit more before it gets cold again. We'll talk about that coming up.
And President Biden calls on finance officials to stiffen bank rules to prevent future collapses.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A fallen brother in blue is returned home while his suspected killer is now in police custody. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, funeral services are set for Sunday for Herman, Missouri Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith. Monday afternoon, a procession of law enforcement officers escorted his body from St. Louis, where he died at the hospital, to Owensville, Missouri for visitation and funeral services. The 34-year-old was fatally shot Sunday in Herman, Missouri. Officer Adam Solentrup was also shot. His last known condition was serious but stable. Now, the 34-year-old Griffith leaves behind a wife, 2 sons, and a community grappling with the loss of a beloved first responder. Griffith also served as the part-time police chief in the city of Rosebud. He lived in Rosebud with his family. The search for the shooting suspect ended yesterday after a day-long standoff at a home in Herman. According to those at the scene, SWAT officers administered tear gas before 35-year-old Kenneth Lee Simpson walked out of the home with his hands up and was arrested. Well, new job opportunities coming to Kansas after a partnership between Wichita State University and the ATF. Jaya Brown shows us how the deal will benefit more than just the Wichita community.
A new center expected to bring 100 jobs to the Wichita area.
The future in fighting against violent crime in this country is going to come straight through Wichita, and specifically through Wichita State.
Has announced the partnership with Wichita State University to help fight crime across the United States.
We're trying to catch trigger pullers and shooters who are terrorizing communities all over the United States. It's essential to solving federal firearm crimes, but it also prevents future crimes.
Senator Jerry Moran and the director of ATF says this center will bring internships and training for the careers in law enforcement.
I mean, it's pleasing to me when we bring a program to Wichita State and we're doing something at Wichita State that increases the opportunity for our students, but we always want to make sure that what goes with that are the jobs in Kansas that those students can fill. And we're now going to not only educate students, but create career opportunities for them here.
The Center of Excellence will also serve as a second crime laboratory to help process criminal evidence.
The NIBIN machine that does ballistics. So law enforcement sends in casings and they're analyzed, and then we hope to find the criminal as a result of that analysis. In addition to that, research is going to take place in this new facility. All around, I think, a significantly wonderful day for Kansas.
The partnership supports Wichita State's priority to bring in new talent to the region. Well, today is National Pie Day, 3/14, and the Joplin Humane Society is jumping in on the fun. They've teamed up with Papa Murphy's for a special promotion. From today through Sunday, all big dogs and adult cats have only a $14 adoption fee. And if you adopt one of the first 50 pets through this promotion, you get a free 1-topping pizza from Papa Murphy's. Can't have pets? Well, there's a special Pie Day deal for you too.
So in addition to the adoptions, we are doing the dog food donation drive. This time of year is when we really start to see an influx in animals, especially big dogs. And big dogs eat a lot of food.
Everyone who donates dog food or money this afternoon gets a piece of pie. It's still cold, but at least the sun is helping. Chris Warner joins us with the first look at the forecast.
Yeah, that sun is definitely helping outside, making it look a little warmer. And if you stand in the sunlight long enough, it might feel a little warmer, especially if you're bundled up. Take a look at these clear skies out here at 7th and Rangeline, looking absolutely beautiful. Same view from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline. Blue skies, clear roads, looking great. It's just a little on the cold side, but it's better than we were yesterday, or will be better than we were yesterday. We started at 22, made it up to 41, and you can see it's nowhere near where our averages are for this time of year because our average high is almost 60 degrees. We're not quite near that today. Let's take a look at temperatures across the area. This is what we got. 39 in Iola, 37 in Fort Scott, Lamar, Pittsburgh, 39 Parsons, 41 Chetopa, Miami, 39 Neosho, and we're sitting at 39 in Carthage and Joplin as well. We're going to continue to warm through today, so we're going to be a little bit warmer than we were yesterday, but still below average across the area. And a brief taste of spring starts tomorrow. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes. And then we're watching some shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into our Thursday. And unfortunately, that is going to return us back to January-like weather. In the meantime, as we've mentioned, make sure that you scan that QR code or go to your favorite app store. Make sure you download the KOAM Skywatch weather app. That way, as the weather roller coasters around, you've got it all right there in the palm of your hand. We're going to talk about those storm chances and that warm up here in just a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Shareholders of Silicon Valley Bank have filed a class action suit following the bank's collapse. It was one of two banks, along with New York's Signature Bank, that regulators took over this past weekend. The shockwaves caused traders to dump shares of more than a dozen other regional banks on Monday. Skylar Henry has the latest from Washington.
The stock market held steady Tuesday morning. The Dow Jones opened higher as jitters caused by the failure of two major banks seems to be easing. On Monday, trading halted for more than a dozen other regional banks after steep drops. It was fallout from the collapse of California-based Silicon Valley Bank and the closure of New York's Signature Bank. President Biden tried to reassure Americans.
Our banking system is safe. Your deposits are safe.
We were pretty worried.
Sam Ling is the CEO of a software startup that had millions in deposits with SVB. He praised the administration's decision to guarantee all deposits, even those that exceeded the $250,000 limit.
Definitely very assuring. I think the government this time moved really fast.
President Biden said he intends to ask Congress and regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to help stave off future failures.
No bank holds enough cash that when all the depositors want their money back simultaneously, they don't have it.
Gary Cohn, the top economic advisor in the Trump administration, appeared on CBS Mornings. He says these situations are why the FDIC insures deposits.
The reason the FDIC insurance was created is to protect your mom and my dad, to make them feel comfortable to leave their money in a bank knowing it's secure.
The White House stressed that executives and investors for both banks will not be bailed out. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
CBS News has learned Silicon Valley Bank was operating without a chief risk officer for months before one was hired in January. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at Noon, the countdown to the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris is underway. What you can expect in just 500 days. And later, we're making lemon chess pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, the Summer Olympics returns to Europe next year with Paris as the host city. And there are now just 500 days to go before the games kick off. CBS's Tina Kraus reports.
Olympic organizers are racing to be ready for Paris 2024. The French president tweeted Tuesday D-500, signaling the countdown to next summer's games. And the Olympic Committee president promised to open the most beautiful window for the world of sports. In an unusual move, the opening ceremony will be held outdoors with up to 600,000 spectators crowding bridges and riverbanks to watch about 10,000 athletes sail past famous landmarks on a nearly 4-mile river route. Critics call the event a security nightmare, but Olympic officials say they're confident they can pull it off safely. A huge push is underway to clean up the River Seine, where swimming has been banned for the last century because of pollution. Authorities promise it will be transformed and swimmable for competitors. Athletes around the world are in training. In Ukraine's capital city, sisters Marina and Vladislava keep at it, even as the war with Russia rages outside.
Sometimes we can hear bombs or something like explosion.
Dozens of countries are urging the International Olympic Committee to ban Russian athletes from the Games, with the mayor of Paris saying it's unthinkable they would be allowed to compete. The IOC is vowing not to let politics interfere with the participation of individual athletes. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Several new sports will make their debut at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, including skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing and breaking. Still to come on the KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
Today is Pie Day, so we've decided to make a pie that adds up to lots of oohs and ahs.
And for our Pie Day, we're looking much warmer and we're tracking those thunderstorm chances as we head into Thursday. We'll break it all down when we come back. Welcome back to KOAM News at Noon. It is still cold outside, and it's going to be a little bit warmer today than it was yesterday, but don't worry, it's going to warm up even more, at least for a couple more days. We'll talk about all that, so how about we get right to it. Our camera, 7th and range line, you can see there is I see a little sliver of cloud. It's hard to see, but it's right about there. There's one stray cloud out there. We're continuing to clear out. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, clear skies out there. The sun is shining, and that sun makes it look warm, even though it's not quite there yet, but we're still doing better than where we were yesterday. Remember, yesterday, we topped out just, 1 degree over that, and we're already at 40 here at the noon hour. Feeling like 34, though, because when it's cold, doesn't take much of a breeze to make it feel cooler, and it's a little east breeze at about 9. Across the region, you can see where the winds have shifted a little bit for us too, bringing in some warmer air. 37 Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Lamar, 36 Nevada, 39 Chinook, 41 Neodesha, Independence, Veneta, Chatopa, Miami, Anderson, 39 Neosho, as well as in Carthage right now. As we get through the rest of our afternoon, we will continue to warm, and 50 degrees is about where we're heading for today. So overall, not bad. Still off the pace for average, but much better than where we were yesterday, and we'll continue to see those mostly clear to just plain old sunny skies as we head through the rest of the afternoon and into the early evening. Now, as we go into the evening, once the sun sets, temperatures, of course, will begin to drop. We will have clear skies for tonight, dropping back down to a low of 35, which is much closer to our average than where we started at about 20 degrees today. All right, let's take a look at the future track because we got changes coming. For the rest of today, obviously, we're clear. We're looking good. Now, we go into early tomorrow morning, about 7 a.m., we start to see some increasing clouds, and then we'll see more clouds as our Wednesday progresses. We're also going to see winds pick up, but we're also going to see temperatures rise because look at the winds coming out of the south, and that will allow us to get a little bit warmer as we head into tomorrow. Then comes Thursday. Thursday is where everything changes. Got a powerful cold front out west that's going to make its way toward us. By Thursday morning, about 5 a.m., we could see some scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two, and as the day progresses, we'll continue to see more showers and thunderstorms developing around the area, and these are going to stick with us throughout the morning, into the afternoon, and into the evening hours as well. And as you look out into western Kansas, they're dealing with snow out there behind this front. Now, here's where the hard part comes in, because see, here's the frontal boundary right here. Here's those colder winds. Here's those temperatures dropping. It's all a matter of how quickly temperatures drop Thursday. We could see a brief transition to a light wintry mix, maybe some light snow. It'll be very brief. It won't add up to really much of anything, but it could happen. We also are watching the chance of strong to severe thunderstorms to our south. This is where this is focused for Thursday, and you can see that low-end threat comes right into parts of Benton County and Delaware County. Otherwise, we're just looking at scattered thunderstorms across the area. Let's talk how warm it's going to get. 60 tomorrow. 58 on Thursday with those thunderstorms, and then that cold front kicks us right in the rear, knocks us down to 26 for our overnight low, only 41 for St. Patty's Day. We're going to stay sunny heading into the weekend, 42 degrees for the first day of spring when we're supposed to be 60, which is crazy. But don't worry, spring will arrive a couple of days late as we start to get into the mid-50s by Tuesday and Wednesday, and then even the lower 60s by next Thursday, and all we have to do is trade that off for some spring showers. And I will take those spring showers if it means those temperatures are going to be spring-like.
I know. I can't wait for the temperatures to get back up there.
I'm done with this cold stuff. At least we get a little taste of spring tomorrow and Thursday, and then we'll really get into spring as we head into the end of next week.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're going to be that lucky on Friday.
No, unfortunately not, but it'll be sunny. That counts for something, right?
All right. Well, do you like pie, Chris?
I love pie, depending on the type of pie.
All right. Well, stick around. We're celebrating National Pie Day with a lemon chess pie after the break. It's March 14th. 3/14, otherwise known as National Pie Day. And today, Howard calculates the perfect recipe. We're making lemon chess pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
It's March 14th, a day that some call Pie Day. Now, when I say pie, I'm talking about pie as in the kind you may remember back in math class. You know, pi equals 3.14, which is part of a mathematical equation to figure out the circumference of a circle. And as you've probably noticed from watching us over the years, here in the Test Kitchen, we love to celebrate just about anything. So in celebration of this pie, what do you say we make a lemony pie that adds up to lots of tasty goodness? All we have to do is combine some sugar with a few eggs, a bit of melted butter, a splash of milk, a couple of tablespoons of yellow cornmeal, some freshly squeezed lemon juice, a little flour, and a bit of grated lemon zest. We beat this together and pour it into a deep dish pie plate that we've already lined with a homemade or refrigerated pie crust. Now all we have to do is pop this into the oven until it sets and the top begins to get golden. That's it. Once it cools, you can serve it as is, or how about finishing it off with a bit of whipped cream to make it doubly delicious? So here's your homework assignment. Go online and get the recipe for our lemon chess pie so you can whip up a pie where the sum of the ingredients adds up to something that's downright awesome. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a lemony way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
We can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4 state market prices.
All right, we are going to be a little warmer today, up to 50, 60 tomorrow, and breezy, 58 Thursday with those storms. Much colder again on Friday and through the weekend. First day of spring, only 42 when it's supposed to be close to 60. But worry not, spring arrives a couple of days late. We're going to get in mid-50s Tuesday and Wednesday with some showers, maybe some thunderstorms late Thursday. Temperatures into the lower 60s.
Saying spring will arrive eventually.
Get a little tease this week, but then it'll come back. All right. What do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, at 5, breast cancer remains the leading cause of cancer death among women. Regular screening is the best bet for early detection. And Health Watch, new information on which form of mammography is most reliable. Plus, March Madness begins this week, and some might be looking for ways to make extra money with sports betting. We're going to hear from a local addiction expert about the dangers of sports gambling. And a McCune Country Store is celebrating Pie Day with lots of delicious options. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dow. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at Noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.